Wagwan, motherfuckers. Today's news story is very easy to get through, and it's very fucking stupid, but very fucking funny. Fact of the matter is, we had gone over the content creator, TheBirdman, on my channel a couple of times now at this point, and as a matter of fact and statement over on Jay's channel as a tag team, specifically around the time of the release of Ironheart. There have been hilarious takes and hilarious dog shit that has come out of him since recently, but the real tea today requires a bit of a backstory for the people who obviously are missing the broadcasts, which you should be tuning into almost every single day, as much as you possibly can. Links found everywhere on my channel and the podcast playlist for Carl at home being there, but the general gist goes. The Birdman started out as a channel that effectively was a type of hate watcher A-logger that would make criticism posts about Jeremy Scott's CinemaSins by making a series called Everything Wrong With, so that he could basically call it the fact that Jeremy Scott's got lazy over the years and started extending the content instead of covering real cinema sins that were things that were actual production mistakes that were wrong with the broadcast and the content creation. Instead, the donkey methodology of considering and conflating jokes and personal interests with the same thing as actual cinematic mistakes. However, after he got big enough off of this, as well as content creators doing the exact same media promulgation content, specifically with the Did It Suck series and multiple video game playthroughs and watch-throughs of content, as well as other topical media in the scene, similar to people like the Black Hokage and also Jester Bell. He would start committing himself to a brand of content that he called Exposing the Grift, which effectively was him taking his own take of the bedroom feminist era of dialectic talking points against people that he considered to be perfect targets for him to antagonize. Channels that were too small, or were just arguments that could be presented as ridiculous so that he could antagonize people to eventually build up enough goodwill behind him, as he had used this as his platform to do so, to attack his real targets, which was that of the Phantom Menace, namely, and I have to say it in the way that he says it, Will Jordan, and everyone else that was basically a part of Friday Night Tights. This includes Neurotic, this includes Heel vs. Babyface, this includes Ryan Cannell of the Arcade Outpost, this includes, obviously, Will Jordan, which is also known as the Critical Drinker, for both his Critical Drinker and his Critical Gaming channels, and pretty much any of the content, any content creator related to him through his media process, through personal friendships, or through collaboration, which not only includes him taking digs and shots at the who's who of black media content creators, which also includes Riververse, so Eric July's on the list, also includes Friday Night Tight as a whole, so everybody who's a collaborator on that list, everybody from X-Ray Girl to Quarter Black Garrett to Chrissy Mayer and beyond, the men and the women too, but also specifically people who appear on things like The Open Bar, people who appear on EFAP, if not just targeting Mahler specifically, as 1/4 of EFAP ever since their joining in union with the Little Platoon. This is not a bit, this is not a meme, this is not a quote. These are his exact words, because, quote, they won't address me, and they have become comfortable with being grifters, because I'll take their audience.
Someone sent the cynical grifter another super chat about me, and we're going to respond to that. But first, a bit of background. There's this loser that's been making video after video after video about yours truly called Sandman Cinema, a disingenuous piece of shit parrot that basically clips my videos out of context in his weak attempts at making me look bad. I have thus far not responded to those videos because the guy is a low IQ moron that is seeking attention. I mean, his videos are hate videos, not criticism videos, and he's clearly just a right-wing loser that gets upset when people criticize right-wingers and their ideas. He's worth nobody's time, in other words. But he clipped a recent live stream where the cynical grifter responded to a question about me, because apparently this is a big moment for him. Finally, the cynical grifter has put big bad Birdman, who hurts my feelings all the time, in his place. Right? Okay, well, I'm gonna cook everybody involved here.
I did like this super chat as well. All the smaller channels like the Birdman, they're so sure you're running scared. After all, their takedown videos are hilarious, especially since you probably don't even know a lot of them exist. It's just a waste of time and stuff like that.
So the super chat states that I, the Birdman, believe the drinker is running scared after my quote takedown end quote videos, and that drinker doesn't know I exist. So let me, the Birdman, answer the super chat. I don't think Drinker is running scared because of my videos. Not in isolation anyway. No, it's clear that Drinker has no intention of responding to any criticism because that has the potential to threaten his business model. It's similar to the Wizard of Oz. There's a man behind the curtain, and acknowledging someone talking about the man behind the curtain makes that criticism real in the mind of his followers. Ignoring that criticism prevents the majority of his audience from even knowing the criticism exists. That's why he doesn't respond. So it's not that he's scared of me in particular. He's afraid of losing his audience, which he definitely would if he engaged people criticizing his ideas or got into some type of debate. I briefly spoke about this in a live stream.
Have I met any Griffin person? What's the first thing I'm doing? Nothing? I don't know what you want me to do. Argue with these morons in public? They don't want no smoke with me. Not that type of smoke. Not real life smoke. I don't think grifters in general want to argue their positions. I think they're pussies. And I mean like in a debate. Now, I don't like debating because I think of it as pageantry. It's a popularity contest. It's, oh, you know, this guy has more followers than you, therefore they won the argument. This is how people actually think. I'm not joking. People come to my channel all the time. Oh, they have more followers than you. That must mean they're right. They literally say that. So what's the point? What would be the point of a debate? You know, that's my perspective. But their perspective, they don't want to debate because they know that their ideas can't stand up to scrutiny in real time. They know that. So they would never do it. They have no reason to do it. Because if they got exposed in real time, well, there goes the grift. It's gone. It's over. They can ignore me. You know, they can ignore my videos. Well, they kind of can't because, like, it's been reaching them. And, you know, somebody super chatted the critical drinker and asked him, what do you think about the Birdman or whatever. It's like, he's a hater. You know, he called me a hater. I'm a hater for saying that you lied about this thing. That's hate. That doesn't even make any sense. But whatever. That's what they do. They brush me off. And they don't have to engage with me. Which is fine. I'm not looking to be acknowledged by these niggas. Like, I don't give a fuck what they think. They're wrong. They're bigoted pieces of shit. Fuck them. But what I'm saying is, they have no reason to engage with somebody like me. They just don't. So they won't.
So no, I don't think he's scared of me, but he's definitely afraid of exposing his audience to people like me because we directly threaten his ability to make a living by telling them the truth about him. Many drinker fans that have watched my videos have changed their mind about the guy, and that's what he's actually afraid of. Oh, and he clearly knows me, Book of Grudges, as this is not the first time Drinker has fielded questions about me. I mean, he literally states he's vaguely aware of who I am in this live stream, which is a lie, but fine, we'll go with that.
His direct decision to antagonize him and everybody else around him, like him, who wants to foster to him, has brought him to a position where he's decided to do some of the stupidest things I've ever seen on this side of our creative circle, which is beginning to antagonize, attack, and try to silence the opinions of content creators that are criticizing him. Namely, as you can clearly see here on the screen, that he is now choosing to attack a content creator, if it's not the exact same content creator as before, in the name of Kinoflex Reviews. Namely, choosing to claim that, how's this for pussy? I know your full name, Jack Kinter, your location, and have evidence of libel. I'm prepared to sue you into bankruptcy. Here's your out. Delete all your tweets, delete your videos, and delete your posts of you mentioning me, and never mention me again in public, or I will serve you. You continue to play tough on the internet. I'll give you one last chance, Jack. Publicly apologize for stating that I said Charlie Kirk getting killed was karma, and I'll drop the entire issue. I don't care if you criticize me, but that was libel. The thing that I find incredibly funny about this is that in your constant antagonization and attacks and content, if you want to call it content, I would call it hate watching, but content about the Critical Drinker, Mauler, Rags, Fringy, Blue Platoon, Desparu, myself, Jay Longbone, go down the entire list of anybody big or small, since you decide everybody can catch them hands, that you would dare do what you already know is a sin in creativity on YouTube. Which is threatening somebody not only with their information, but that you would try to bankrupt them for talking about you. You don't see it that way, you see it as libel. You see it as intimidation of your honor. I see that as you deciding where your moral lines begin and end, and they are very wishy-washy. How do you get to come at people about them being alleged media grifters, about them being alleged racists? How do you go and make content on a channel such as yours, where the majority of your content can be seen as the following, where you have gone away from your original source of content into the content that you now make, where you are antagonizing people, where the most recent video where he chooses to attack Kinoflex can be seen here from 3 days ago, to where you will claim that people like, in this video, Ryan Cannell of the RK Outpost is actually an evil, bigoted racist who hates Lupita Nyong'o because even though it hasn't been actually shown that she is going to be playing or portraying Helen of Troy in the recent adaptation of the Odyssey, that this means that he's a bigoted Nazi that deserves to be antagonized. That you would choose to call Eric July alongside a bunch of other people, coons, by any other word. How you would choose to talk about context in Charlie Kirk, which probably led to the situation in question. The clip that came from the video in question about you saying that New Critical Drinker chats about you, and that this is a part of exposing the grift. How EFAP's comment section is hilarious because you don't like the things that the people that watch his content say. How you don't add Eric July and how he talks about things such as tokenism. And all of the other things that you've started to do in what I described is literally a bedroom feminist fashion. This shit started somewhere around about 1.5 years ago. Right around here, where you decided to start doing things about people saying that they didn't know what a remake was, which then launched into your debunking conspiracy theorist conversations, which then launched into your exposing the grift conversation, where you decided to go out and on about constantly antagonizing Will Jordan for how dare he make content. This is hilarious, quite frankly. It is fucking hilarious. It is hilarious to the highest fucking degree. If their content is bad, watch them niggas! There is no other conversation about this, okay? I'll be as hood Charlie as I can about this. If their content is dog shit, watch them niggas! But it's not about that. It's about your pandering. That's at least my opinion. I don't give a fuck if you care about my opinion or not. The fact of the matter is, what you're doing here is bitch made, and people are going to call you out about it. Definitely people should bring more attention to it. Hell, if it wasn't for the fact of me bringing attention to it by how I chose to DM this here for Jay, Muller, and Critical Drinker, and then Jay chose to address it on her own time, it's really just a matter of time where all the who's who of what is effectively your target sphere are going to start making fun of you for what Jay said in her own words is the gayest shit imaginable. We are critics. We talk shit. If you think that you need to sue somebody for libel so you can bankrupt them over something is that serious, then I guess go to court about it. See what happens then. It's your reputation, not ours. Completely ignore all the things that you got wrong about Ironheart, such as that dumbass claim that you made in your content where you said there is no way there would ever be Mephisto in that show. And then what did Sacha Baron Cohen's wiggly dick ass do on that screen other than portray Mephisto? Never mind the takes that you've had that could be disagreeable, that could be right, but you're in the wrong spirit and everything else. This right here is that shit that we don't do on YouTube. You are content trolling when you're doing this. Everybody can see very clearly you are content trolling. You've got a personal problem with a content creator and a sphere of content creators. You decided that you're gonna A-log about them, so you get mad that people A-log and make content about you back. In general, it's all content at the end of the day. Why are you so pressed about it? They're dog shit evil racists, right? They're dumb shit evil coons that propagandize and dance for the anti-woke grift audience, right? So why are you so pressed? Why are you sweating so hard? That's all I got to say. Shabbat shalom, I'll see you all later on in the day. Goodbye.